What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Fandom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hanako, and I am here with Anthony, Michelle, and Mike. And we are talking about Fantastic Four First Steps, the newest entry in the MCU. I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty interesting discussion because I don't think we all feel one same way about it. It's like just having conversations with you guys and having conversations with other people. It's like there are so many different, you know, thoughts about this movie. Some people really like it, some people really didn't like it, some people were in the middle, some people like parts of it and didn't like other parts. And it's just been all over the place, but mostly I've heard good things. So this and see what's going on, see how we feel about it. Um, let's see where we want to start. First thoughts. Just short thoughts.
Not as good as Superman.
I'll agree with that.
We're not doing that.
Right though.
When you said first thoughts,
In short,
Okay.
Relatively speaking, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Here's the thing. There were certain things I could appreciate about this movie and certain things that I couldn't. I thought it took way too long to get started. This thing was just, I felt like I was an hour in before I could really, before Silver Surfer got there. I know it wasn't, but it felt like it dragged on and on. I was just like, God, can we get to the fucking point? It felt like it didn't get to the point soon enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
And there were there were a few dead moments in there where I was just like, why are we like, as much as I love the Natasha Lyonne, it's like the interaction that Ben had with her, I was just like, okay. I know some people think Ben needs a quote unquote love interest, but those scenes just kind of drag to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know people are going to hate me for this, but I don't know about Pedro as Reed.
Okay.
you trying to dodge those bullets.
I really am. Now, there were certain points in it that I really liked him as Reed,
Mm-hmm.
but there were other points where I was just kind of like, I don't know. There were certain things that I didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
What I loved in this movie, first off, fucking Galactus was fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. I've seen this movie twice. I saw it once in on a smaller screen, let's say, and I saw it again. And I saw it again in the movie theater.
Okay.
And in the movie theater,
Mm-hmm.
Galactus looked very good. I loved everything about him. I loved the Silver Surfer. I thought she did a really good job, and I love how they handled Johnny in this. I like how they didn't turn him into someone who is just like being silly and chasing girls and all this other shit. Like he actually had a purpose. He was one of the reasons why the plan succeeded, and he had a real role in this movie, and I really appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that, and like that's one of the main highlights for me in this.
Okay.
I can't wait to see what they do after this because I know a lot. I know Franklin Richards is the way they handle Franklin Richards is going to be telling because it's just like the multiverse saga. Like if you don't handle Franklin Richards right, it's like you either give him too much power or you don't give him enough power. Now Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful beings in Marvel, period.
Okay, because I was gonna say, is there such a thing as too much power with him? Because I've heard that as well.
It depends on how you show him. Like if you just show him be doing whatever the fuck he wants to, then it's like, okay, what's his point? What's his purpose? He's just here just doing bullshit. Or if you don't you show him failing at more things than he succeeds, and it's all in how you handle him. I hope they handle him properly because it'll just be another multiverse saga where they kind of drop the ball on him, and I don't want to see that because Franklin Richards is a great character and a very interesting character. So
I mean,
overall,
he gets nerfed different ways in the comic books. He does.
Yeah.
but yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I thought I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I was like, they're not killing. Like when Sue went down, I was like, no, the fuck you not, no, the fuck you're not, and I was like, Then I saw Frank, and I was like, okay, Frank's gonna bring her back. Okay, cool. But for a second, I was like, nah. And when they fucking stretched Mr. when Galactus played Play-Doh with Mr. Fantastic, I was like, he's gonna break him. I was like, we can't see two Mr. Fantastics get spaghettified in two. Like that'd be the second one you've done spaghettified. You can't do that shit. Like, come on,
Yeah,
that should look painful as
it
fuck.
did. I was literally cringing in my seat, like, oh
yeah, he's gonna be torn to pieces.
yeah,
Like the
yeah,
sound design on that was crazy. Like you could like hear him stretching, and I was like, that sounded like tendons. Like, nah, no, oh come on.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm a sucker for mid-century modern architecture and style. So I loved every design. Every design in this was spot on for me. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it was just certain things that are weird to me, but all in all, this is a great movie.
Okay.
He has a lot for his initial thoughts.
Yes, he does. He always does.
As I was gonna say, it was meh. It was average. The initial thought,
Mm-hmm.
and then y'all come back to me. But the initial thought, I was like, this is okay. I mean, will I go see it again? No.
Okay.
Did it do anything? No, that's initially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Initially.
My initial thoughts was the same after watching Captain America: First Avenger the first time. Oh, that was cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was like, yeah, that was cute. But I'll come back to that though, because I have more thoughts. But that was my initial thought.
Okay. Sorry, dang, I start talking. I'm sorry, guys. Jeez.
No, it's fine. I expected it. That's why I was. That's why I was like, breathe, because I knew Mike was gonna go on a 5-minute the speech, but it's okay. It's okay, because I know you still have plenty to say. We still have
you hit
discussion, so that's fine. My initial thoughts was I thought it was a fun movie. I do agree that it kind of dragged at the beginning, but I felt like that was more so to kind of introduce the characters to people who may not have been familiar with the first two versions of this story, and also for the people who aren't comic book people. I do like what they've done, and they also did this with Superman as well. I like it that they did not give us a play-by-play of the quote-unquote origin story for the team, because I feel like we've done that, we've seen that, and we don't need another version of it. I felt like it would have been a waste of film, even though I think with these characters, with these people who are portraying these characters, I think it would have been interesting, but I don't think we needed it. Overall, I liked it. Again, because I remember reading Fantastic Four comics when I was young, but I wasn't into those like I was with like X-Men or X Factor. So I'm only vaguely familiar with their story. And then I saw the first two Fantastic Four films with Ian Gruffold and Jessica Alba. I did not see the one with Michael B. Jordan. So I only have a little bit of knowledge about what this team actually is. And I think they did a good job with introducing them. But yeah, there's some things in there that I think probably could have been fixed, or probably could have been done a little bit better if maybe they had a slightly longer runtime, but we'll go into the specifics. But so let's talk about the film. How did you guys feel about the fact that they kind of gave us an abbreviated version of the events that made them the superheroes as opposed to just the scientists?
I loved it.
I did too.
Yeah, I think it was good because there's certain characters that we all, as the general public, everybody knows their origin story. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, you know, and Wonder Woman not so much, and I think Fantastic Four. Like, those are the ones that everybody knows their origin story. So you don't have to give it to us again.
Yeah, but I don't think so. But like Hanako said, like, it was really for people who don't, because I don't think everyone even thinks about the Fantastic Four, because I've seen questions like, oh, they are the original family, the first family. Like, it has gone over their head. But I love how, to get us who knows the origin story and the ones who don't, how the style of how they did it. Like, oh, this is a year later, you know, newspaper, television. I like how they did that. So you can be like, okay, a review for the ones of us who know, like in this earth, this is how it happened for them.
It was almost like the way they would do it in that universe for all the people who don't really know.
Yeah.
They did like a little blurb.
Yeah.
TV,
because it was like a talk show person.
Yeah.
So it was like watching
the introduction.
For the 60s, it would have been like watching Johnny Carson or watching David Letterman, you know, talk about and kind of introduce these people like, oh, these are these people, and this, you know, kind of like the sizzle reel, if you will.
Yeah, right. Because in case you didn't know, this is how they got the powers.
Right. Yeah, and this is what they're doing now currently, and how they're helping, you know, the community and society. Yeah. So it was, I like the style of it.
Yeah. I also like the fact that it seemed like, okay, so one of the things that we do learn at the beginning is that this is not quote unquote our Earth that they are on. They are on a totally different Earth. They're on Earth 828, which I had seen a couple of days before. They named 828 was for Jack Kirby because that was his birthday. So I was like, oh, okay, that's a cute little touch. So this is a different Earth. So of course they're in the 60s, but it's a futuristic 60s. So it's kind of like, it's like the MCU meets the Jetsons. You know, you're in 60s, you have this kind of vintage vibe from what we know of what the 60s were, but they have the flying cars. They have the, you know, the advanced technology that we didn't have back then. So I thought that was interesting. Using the talk show host to tell the story. I thought that was a really interesting way to do it too, because you know, so much of what we see with the regular MCU and the way that they tell the stories as far as the superheroes, you have the news, you have it sensationalized, you have them you know, there's propaganda involved, it's just a whole bunch of different ways that they do I want to say that they kind of spin the superheroes in a negative way sometimes? And you didn't really see that much with this film, with this family. Like it really seemed like the world was behind these heroes. Like when they knew what the tragedy was and what happened and how it changed them, you didn't have a lot of the negative stuff. And I like that they showed that, like even with Ben. You know, Ben being the Thing, being a different person, looking different. You didn't see any kind of hate towards him in this film. You didn't see any kind of bullying, any kind of just any of that.
So it was the opposite.
It really was. It was very much that world really embraces people who are different, which I loved. You know, of course, up until the point where they find out that, oh, this is all you have to do in order to save us. And then they kind of turn. But on the one hand, that's also kind of understandable because it's like, it's just the one thing, but it's a big one thing. But aside from that, you know, the kids sitting there, you know, cheering him on. Hey, pick up the car. You know, they're playing with him. Mike, what you were saying as far as the potential love interest. Now, we've had this discussion talking about other shows. I don't necessarily have to see characters with a love interest, but I like the fact that they kind of showed a little bit of a positive spin for him, because again, with him looking so different and him being so different, the thought would be, is he going to have to be alone for the rest of his life? And so to see that there's a potential there, that somebody was looking at him not as a quote unquote monster, but as just a man who's different, I really enjoyed that. I really liked the feel good tone of the film overall. You know,
you too.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we don't really get to see a lot of with our superhero movies, because it's like everybody loves you when you're doing good or when you're doing things that benefit them. And then, they turn on you when things get different. But even the little bit of time that we saw them turn on the Fantastic Four with this, with the way that Sue handled it and came out and talked to everyone was like back on their side real quick. And I was like, I like this because people are actually listening to her make sense. You know?
And the thing about it is she was on, what was it, the UN or something. So they have heard her before talk about relations within the world of coming together. So it's not like this is the first time they ever hear her speak.
Right.
Like she's a leading person. I want to say woman. She's a leading person in that on that earth.
Yeah.
But what you should not do is watch this movie and go watch the original Fantastic Four.
Don't do that. Is that, Michelle?
Just don't do it.
Does it have to do with that version of Sue?
It's the versions of everyone.
Yeah. Well, Ben is Michael Chilkins was okay as Ben. It was it was relatively the same.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I can get that.
No.
But of course, it was a different time too. That was in the 90s, early 2000s.
But Friends.
It was more of a sexualized version because I mean, one, it was Jessica Alba. Jessica Alba was in her prime at that time, like she was the hot thing everywhere. So they really were sexualizing her. But nowadays, in 2025, you're not going to really be able to do that because, times have changed, attitudes have changed, and women don't want to be objectified like that anymore. Right.
And I understand that. However, I'm typically always going to favor the old shows. But in this case, I was like, oh yeah, they really did the characters well in the new Fantastic Four First Steps. Yeah. Looking how the old, I mean, it's 2005, whatever period it is, just how they did the characters. I love Chris Evans. He should have never been Johnny Storm. That wasn't really great because he was not, when you rewatch it, I didn't really care about him when I first saw it, but rewatching now, I'm like, man, I really don't like this Johnny. Well, like this Johnny gave Ben, even though he was there for him, he gave Ben it was harsh to the point where later they had to explain to him, he does care about you. He's kind of jealous that you found a love and he can't find, a
but he literally bullies him.
And all the way to the end. Right up to the end. And then they make a change.
Yeah. But the other thing about that version of Fantastic Four and this version, I feel like the earlier version we saw that they were younger and that Johnny was younger and more immature. I feel like in this version, they're a little bit older and more mature. Like even Sue is a mother. Sue is, about to be a mother. Yeah, but
Johnny in this one's First Step seems younger than Johnny in the first one.
You think so?
Or at least around the same age. Okay. At least around the same age. Yeah. I think he's
And we're not getting into the original Fantastic Four. I brought that up because in watching that, then I started to realize how I did appreciate Fantastic Four, the First Steps. That it wasn't meh and average.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then I start pulling out like different stuff that Mike said that I truly enjoyed. And then going back and talking to Anthony about how realistic this is to the characters in the comic book, I was like, oh, so this is actually really good. And it's just like Captain America, the first one, because the first one I was like, oh, okay. And then now, I mean, like, that and the Winter Soldier, I can constantly watch.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate it from even watching the other ones. And then I tried to watch the one from a few years ago, and then I couldn't make it past 15 minutes. So I was like, okay, just turn the TV off.
I still haven't watched it yet. I was like,
I told you to.
So I could compare.
And you do need to see it, but I couldn't even re-watch it.
To be honest, it's forgettable. It's really forgettable. And it's a shame because Michael B. Jordan's in it. See, this is what happens when Michael B. Jordan's in a movie that doesn't have Ryan Coogler involved in it. It's like exactly what happens. He needs to stick with Ryan Coogler like they're conjoined twins.
Yeah.
It's like, but yeah, that Fantastic Four movie was just forgettable. I mean, it's like, for the cast that it had, it should have been way better.
Yeah. Because wasn't Miles Teller Reed?
Miles Teller was.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He was.
Okay.
So it should have been way better than it was. but it wasn't. So
I can see these characters moving forward. Very, hopeful for what's to come.
Right.
With this Fantastic Four, especially again after watching the previous ones.
And also about your point on the origin story, it's just like everybody says. There's only so many times we need to see Thomas Wayne and Martha get killed.
Oh yeah.
There's only so many times we need to see Krypton destroyed.
So many times we need to see Uncle Ben die. It's like we only need all the we don't need to see none of that. And that's what. And once we talk about the Superman movie, it's like the Superman movie did the same thing. And I'm glad they handled that the way they did too. It's like I think they're getting to the point where like they're realizing that okay, y'all know the deal. So we'll just get to what we need to get to. And I really appreciate that because it kind of gets you into the story and gives them more time with the story too. Because if you don't spend like 15, 20, 30 minutes in the beginning of a movie setting up what happened to this character in order to turn them into the superhero that they are, then you could use that time to build the plot or to do other things going that have to deal with the movie as opposed to saying, okay, this is the origin story. We're going to show it in a different way. Like you're going to show it from this angle. So it's like, you actually get more information that way.
Right.
I just want to go back to my thing about Captain America, the First Avenger. So yeah, I did kind of have that same initial feeling that I have for Captain America, First Avenger. However, the longer I sit with it, and like with Captain America, First Avenger, the more I watched it, the more I liked it. And it's actually now, it went from one of my least favorite to one of my favorites in the MCU. Okay. And I kind of feel like this may happen with Fantastic Four because the more I sit with it, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, you know what? I actually kind of like it. I'm kind of the opposite of y'all. I actually liked the first act. I know it was kind of slow, but I liked.
Oh, I liked it too. Yeah.
I like all the characterization and them talking. It was a lot of exposition. It was a lot.
Yeah.
And it got better with the second act with Galactus. And I was like, okay, this is really cool because like Mike said, he was amazing. It was great. Third act, I kind of feel like the movie kind of let me down. So maybe if I watch it more, I would like the last third of the movie, but I didn't care as much about that part of the movie. Like, I don't want to say it fell apart. Huh?
I hated Reed Richards in the third part.
Yeah,
I was so sure that he was just going to that he like when he hesitated when she was like, "I'm not giving up our baby," and he was just like, "Well." He's like, you thought about it. He's like, I think about everything. I'm like, that's not a fucking excuse.
But see, you know what? For the character that he is and what I do know of his character and even what they explained in the movie, he is one of those people, he thinks about all the possibilities, even the ones that are horrible. And I think that's something kind of, I feel like that's what you should do. You have to look at everything from every angle. Now, just because he thought about it doesn't mean that he was contemplating it. It's two different things. And I think that's what people are misunderstanding. They're like, oh, you thought about it, so you were going to do it. No, that's not the case. You have to think about, okay, so if it comes down to blah, 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 what are the
these are the actual options.
Right.
One of them is my kid. I can't deny that.
Right.
Okay,
but we know that we're not about to do this.
Hold on. Before we get into those weeds, my issue with the third act is really because y'all know how my brain works. I started thinking about the logistics of the plan. And I'm like, okay, the kumbaya, we are the world, hands across America, everybody's going to turn lights off. I couldn't get with that. I just couldn't get with that. It didn't. It took a lot for me to suspend my belief.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I know. They're like, oh, the world is gonna die if you don't get together. I
And they really know the world's gonna die.
I have no faith in humanity.
But
okay, I got a counterpoint for that one.
But
they knew the world was going to die.
I'm just telling you, that's how I felt in the moment.
I get you.
Because I'm looking at this like we know that there's going to be at least a third of the world that's going to look at this and be like, this ain't going to work out.
But that's the whole good thing. That's what I was talking about with this particular Earth.
Right, and the time period
different.
The time period.
I'm just saying,
and they saw it.
They didn't sell me on that because of how quickly they turned on the Fantastic Four. So I couldn't be sold on that they could have this kumbaya moment. So I know her speech.
They didn't turn on the Fantastic Four. They just was like, "It's your child, not ours." And we want to save the planet. So they wanted to save the planet.
Response. Yeah.
Right. And they wanted to save the planet.
I'm just saying that
they didn't want to die.
Issue with the third act was I just had a hard time buying into it. I wasn't quite sold on
I'm just trying to sell you.
So
they saw it.
I'm with Michelle on this one.
Right. It's a difference.
I understand. I get it. But I'm just saying I didn't.
They didn't. I'm just helping sell it to you. First of all, it's different if you say the world's going to end and they say it. They come off the spaceship, the world is going to end. They're like, well, nothing has happened. I mean, today is Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yeah, but it's something about a silver woman coming out.
They actually saw something
that said
things was happening. Things were happening.
We don't have to turn this podcast into let's convince Anthony that the third act is good.
We're just saying.
I got it, guys. I understand.
But I have to do that point because somebody else may feel the same way. You got to think this is different. Time is different.
Look at my
The people are different. And they actually saw that their world was in peril. It wasn't I saw it on the news, but it's not affecting anything around me. They saw it. That woman said, I'm coming. The planet's going to end.
Right.
And then the smartest person in the world is looking like this on the news. I don't know what to do.
Right.
Then
and
you're
then
like,
you have
we're
someone
screwed.
saying, literally saying, we can only do this if we all work together. If we all don't work together, we're done.
Screwed.
We're dead.
So do you want to be the one in 5B building who don't turn off their light?
No, because you know what?
At you?
Because I'm gonna be that person that's gonna come to 1B and kick your ass and turn your lights off for you.
So we all gonna work together because it's not gonna be me. Everybody look at it like, see, our planet's dying and it was your fault. You had to watch your television show.
Again,
right.
Maybe if I watch it a couple more times, I might be on board. But
we just
as it stands right now, Galactus is the thing that kind of saves that last act.
Okay.
Now, while I understood what you ladies were saying, and I agree, Reed needed to put his words needed to put those words together better. Like if he was just planning it, I get that. That's cool. Like he thinks about a million different things when I think of two. I totally get that. He's the smartest person in the world. Smart people think constantly. I get that. It's just that I guess that's what, but see, this feeds into the stereotype that smart people don't have social skills. You know what I'm saying? It's like where they don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to get their ideas across. They're just smart.
But did you see Reed throughout the whole movie? He kind of sort of was that way.
Yeah.
He don't have it.
He was teaching theoretical physics to kids, and they were like falling asleep on him, and he was just like, "Y'all want to blow shit up? Yay!"
That was he read the room then.
Yeah. But it's like the whole thing is like he didn't read the room because he would have known that his wife was about to put him in a force field and shrink him. But
also you got to think about this. He doesn't have to have that mask on when he's with her, so she allows him the space to think and to say comments out of his thinking where he doesn't have to make sure that it's said a certain way to people around him. She is his safe space. Right. So he said it like he would normally have said it around her. She was also in her feelings too, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He didn't. And
that's just what happened.
She basically said, "Oh, this is what you're thinking about." She was like, "Because I know you."
Because she knows. Yeah.
So. Yeah. But again, it's just kind of like okay, let's talk about you're talking about like when they first went to meet Galactus, and Galactus was like, okay, so I'll save your planet, you just got to give me your child. And all of them were like, oh hell no, this is not happening. And so when they came back to Earth and they told the people, well, yeah, that's what he wanted, our child. And they were like, and you didn't give him up? Both Reed and her were looking at them like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, are you going to give up your child if it was your child? Would you give up your child to save the world? And I mean, I literally was sitting there thinking about The Last of Us, because it's almost the same decision. Like, am I going to give up this child to save the rest of the world? Absolutely not.
You stole my line for later. Because Pedro Pascal, once again.
But that's what I thought about. I was like,
thinking about nobody else.
Thinking about nobody else.
But you know what could have saved all of this? Why the hell you get off the space shuttle and say it? Won't y'all?
Well, I think they're used to being transparent.
No, he was saying it. He wasn't even thinking. This is something we may need to go to the house and have a conversation with. Everyone's not like us. Let's figure this out. And then we come back to the public. Not say, oh, he just wanted our.
I think they've always operated. I think they've always operated with being open
and honest and transparent.
No, and I'm just being funny that that's the one time.
But I mean, that's the whole reason why. That's the whole reason why the thing came up about his thoughts. Like, he could have easily lied and said, "No, I didn't think that." But she knows him.
Oh,
she knows him better than anybody.
She would tell him the truth. But
so the
as
fact,
a group,
even though her brother and his best friend, they were both horrified. But she was like, "No, I know you. This is what you thought." He was like, "Yeah, I thought it, but not like I'm actually gonna do it. But I'm looking at all the possibilities." And that's the smart thing to do. I mean, similar to what Doctor Strange did. Doctor Strange looked at every single possibility when they were fighting Thanos. And he was like, okay, yeah, I see all of them, but there's only one that's going to work. And the one that's going to work took the leader, took basically the most important person out of the group, out of the equation, because he had to sacrifice himself. That was something he saw, he knew was going to happen. Didn't mean he had to like it. But he knew, okay, if we're going to win this thing, this is the one thing that has to happen. Reed probably thought that too. Like, the only way we really are going to win this is if we give him our child, but I'm not willing to do that. So what else can we do? And then you use that as motivation to try to figure out any other way to beat this man. Even if you got to come up with a convoluted plan, like setting up these power stations all around the world to try to move the planet. Like, yes, it's a Hail Mary. Yes, it's probably the most unrealistic fucking thing I have ever heard of. But you know what?
Utterly unrealistic.
But you know what else?
Do you know what a 2% difference in our orbit would make?
And they said it in the movie, but here's the thing. That is something that was completely and utterly unrealistic. You know what else was unrealistic for Reed? Having to give up his son.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got to choose between one of those two, guess what? I'm going to do the stupid plan. I'm going to do the unrealistic plan, because ain't no way in hell you're about to get your hands on my child. Period, point blank. So, yeah. But
it was a moot point because Galactus was coming for that child one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I know is that how we gonna there are certain parts of the world where I wouldn't have trusted their craftsmanship in making that shit. Because this shit, we would have been blinking like a damn like the globe in Times Square, with like part of it working and part of it flashing and not working.
Well, see, I don't think that's fair to say, because you gotta have smart people in every society. They may not be as advanced as we are over here. They may not have all the resources and the luxuries, but there's probably...
I'm not even talking about that. I'm not talking about resources. I'm talking about like competent people, like competent people being able to follow those directions. That's a lot.
Maybe that was competent people who weren't in that area. Maybe they were somewhere else and they went to that area. I mean,
they didn't have that much time.
They had enough time to build. Did you see those towers? They had enough time to build those.
Okay. They didn't have enough time to have people jumping from place to place to quality check all of them, though. They didn't have that much time.
Mm-hmm.
They had a little bit. They had some time. They didn't have that much time.
I mean, this is a more advanced civilization than we're seeing on our Earth.
Please send your emails to EMCE.
Who you telling that to? Earth 828? Am I going to get like multiversal emails now? I ain't trying to see all that shit. I got enough bullshit in my inbox.
If they do, maybe they're gonna take you and move you 2% to the left.
the views expressed by the mic are not reflective of the other members of the Fandom Hybrid podcast. I have full faith in anybody anywhere in this world to do quality work.
I'm not talking about this world. I'm talking about 828.
Okay, then I'll put it like this, and this is what Michelle and I said. You can probably be the most lackluster person. You can be the person who probably don't get it straight. You probably the person who reads something and be like, what? When you find out that your survival is dependent on you getting this shit right, you will become a fucking rocket scientist in a short amount of time, because you're going to do whatever you have to do to survive. If that means that right now I need to go and learn quantum physics so that 24, 48 hours from now I can go build whatever, I'm going to be sitting right here studying. Y'all ain't going to see hide nor hair of me, because I'm going to be in this book making sure I understand whatever it is I need to do to keep myself alive. I'm just saying, death is a powerful motivator when you have no other options.
Right.
Your own personal death, yeah. See, okay, now you can give him my email, because I don't think there are a lot of people in this world that would be able to do that shit.
But again, like you just said, we're not talking about this world. We're talking about Earth 828. We're talking about a society.
It's a moot point because the Silver Surfer destroyed them all. So, yeah. So
that shit was. I loved and hated that moment, because they were like, "Okay, get ready, it's gonna work," and all of a sudden, boop, like, huh?
Boop, 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 boop. I was like, this bitch.
She was flying through all of them.
That hard work for nothing.
Nothing.
She didn't know
all those nights and days of no power.
Well, she didn't know. All she had to do was destroy one. The whole plan fell apart.
She was like, no. She double tapped and triple tapped and quadruple tapped.
She
and
just making sure. Tapped. Just making sure.
She was like, she did that to make a point. She's like, yeah. How about she's like a cat. She's like, they knock this over, just knock that over, knock that over.
Yes, she was
look at you while she's doing it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she had to make sure. She had to make them feel the despair of, damn it, I did all this work for nothing. Like, that's what you're supposed to do when you're about to destroy Earth.
When she waited till the last minute.
Right, but that's what you're supposed to do if you are that person.
It's like she's sitting there watching them build it, just watching them build it. Oh, they're about to flip the switch? Okay.
Okay. And this looks like this may work. So,
right. And, and that's what you're supposed to do if you're that person. If you're the villain, if you're the one that's supposed to bring misery and despair to everyone, that is what you do. So she did what she was supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to like it, but she did what she was supposed to do.
Yeah. I want to shout out to all the sexist dumbass motherfuckers who thought that this Silver Surfer wasn't going to be good, because she was one of the highlights of the movie for me. I thought, and the way that her and Johnny interacted was actually a refreshing part of the movie for me, about how Johnny figured out her language and they went through her backstory, which was actually pretty cool, kind of heartbreaking, but I really appreciated her, and of course the visuals were just fucking incredible.
Yeah, they were. But yeah, her backstory kind of reminded me of Gamora and Thanos. Like, it's literally almost the same thing. You know, except Thanos did kill everyone on her planet and just took her because he was like, oh, she'll be a good daughter. Let me brainwash her. But, you know, it has some similarities, and I like the way that they told it. Going back to what Michelle was saying as far as the different portrayals of Johnny, I did like Joseph's version of Johnny, because Chris's version of Johnny Johnny was kind of sort of like, I mean, again, it was 90s. He was very much a horn dog. He was very much the inappropriate jokes, the kind of, you know, almost creep vibe, because he was just trying to, trying to get with someone, and just the weird flirting. This version of Johnny was not that way. Like, yes, he was still lonely, and he still made the jokes like, oh yeah, yeah, she's is that what, what was it that he said? Something about the surfboard, like,
Oh, was it part of your body, or
yeah,
is
it
it
wasn't
something?
part of your body. And I was like, please, let's not do that. But he didn't overdo it. You know
No,
what
he
I'm
did.
saying? And then when it got to the point where he started putting things together, like he was like, okay, something about this sounds something like this. And he started actually doing his work. I was like, okay, I like the way that they're portraying him, because they're making it seem like, yeah, he's the jokester, he's this, but he's also very serious. He's like,
That's
And
smart.
smart.
no,
And
yeah,
smart.
Yes.
Yeah,
that
that must
too.
say that's
But he's
smart.
like, nobody else is paying attention to this. Everybody else is doing this. So somebody needs to be doing this. Let me work on this. And he figured it out, and like told them about it. And he was able to actually use that to get through to her. I was like, I like this version of him. He's not overly arrogant. He's not brash. He's not, he's not the type of person who's just gonna ignore what other people are telling him. Like, he was none of that. And I thought that was very refreshing for his character.
I did too, because it made me realize why he was chosen to go on the mission that changed him.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense, because in the previous movies, well, the first group, I didn't understand why Johnny came.
Nepotism.
That's what I just thought. It was like, oh, that's her, he wanted to go to space. That's, what I'm saying? That's her brother and stuff. But
take your brother with you.
Right. Even at least in the second with Michael B. Jordan, they did talk about how he was smart. So we got a little bit of that. But I really enjoyed this. Like, he holds his own. He's not just Sue's brother, and he just came on this mission. He was there for a reason.
Because in the intro, didn't Reed say he chose the smartest people he knew, which was his family?
Yeah, and he was like, they just happen to be family. My brother-in-law, my wife, and my best friend. But
I like that with even Ben. Like, Ben is the pilot. Like, he was a great pilot, and you need that. In the first movie, I wasn't, when I rewatched, kind of sure. I think they mentioned it in the latest Fantastic Four before First Steps. Ben was just, you gonna watch it, but Ben was just his friend, because he got bullied, Reed, so he had a friend who would beat people up, and the friend ended up going.
Okay, yeah. And this one,
so then that was Ben. So Ben wasn't there because he was great pilot or he was smart. He just ended up happening to go.
And I think in this one, it was almost like they were trying to make him sort of like an astronaut, because those guys, the astronauts, are really smart.
Right, because especially if they're a pilot, because they were pilots,
Yeah,
and not a Delta Airlines.
Not a Delta. More.
Yeah.
More astronaut.
Yeah.
Less Delta.
Yeah. But that's the other thing that I really, really liked about this film was their focus on family. Because again, yes, you could have brought them in. Oh yeah, that's my brother-in-law, that's my best friend, or whatever. But it's almost like those two things were afterthoughts, because yes, he picked the smartest people, and they just happen to be like, Reed just happens to surround himself with smart people, and he married into him, and he has one for the best friend. But I liked the way that they told that story, because it was like, you see the really warm relationship between Sue and Johnny, and even the kind of teasing relationship with Johnny and Reed, because Reed is the more serious of the group. He's the one that's always thinking about the possibilities and all of this stuff, and he's the one that worries the most, because again, he's the smartest one in the room, so he probably worries about things most people don't even think about. Because he knows that those possibilities exist. But even with that, you see how important Sue is to him. You see how important the baby is to him, and you know, Ben and Johnny, and it takes all of that as far as that family dynamic and how close they are to each other, how well they know each other in the end to do what it is that they do. And I like seeing that because we get that with you do get that with the Avengers and all some of the other, you know, characters that we've seen, but aside from Wanda and Pietro, I don't think we've really seen family members in the same group. Wanda and Pietro, and then maybe later on Natasha and Yelena. But other than that, we don't really
Monica
see.
Rambeau and her mom.
Yeah, Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther, Monica Rambeau and her mom.
Mm-hmm.
But
but you can't count that one. They really not together
because it's different generations. Like Monica was a hero, and then she died, and then, or no, excuse me, Maria. Maria was, you know, she was the fighter pilot, whatever. She died, and then Monica became who she was. But you don't. It's almost rare that you see them side by side. And technically speaking, Shuri, I didn't consider her a superhero until she donned a Black Panther suit. She was another smart scientist. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't have superpowers. She didn't have special abilities. She was just smart as hell and could really, you know, fix some amazing armor and some amazing weapons. But I'm talking about as far as heroes. You know what I'm saying? But
no, because I would consider that to be a hero. She helped the group.
Well, superheroes, that's what I mean to say. Okay. Superheroes. She's very much a hero.
But I understand what you're saying. But it was a high emphasis on family, and I think I did like that because they had great chemistry as a family.
Yeah. And that even is off screen because I've probably watched every press junket interview that they have done. They have amazing chemistry with each other, and you can tell that they genuinely care about each other just in the way that they interact with each other, but also in their body language with each other. And I think that came across a lot on screen. Like you could see these are people who really would fight for each other and die for each other.
Right. Or make fun of each other and laugh. Because there's one interview where, and I'm not going to say his real name because I'm going to end up calling him Eddie. But
Joseph.
Joseph had, I don't know what the interviewer had asked a question, and then he turned and he made a face which caused Ben to like just die laughing.
While Vanessa was
talking, they were like, "What's going on?" And he was like, "Oh, he making faces again." He's like, "It's not me." But it was funny because
I made the face 5 minutes ago and he's still laughing.
He's still laughing.
Yeah.
But he still turned again at him. He still, continue laughing. So you can tell that they had great relationship.
As far as the third act goes, Anthony, I'm gonna say my favorite part. One of the things that I did not expect, and again, going back to what I know of Fantastic Four, I didn't know until we had like just conversations about how powerful Sue actually is. And I love the fact that they kind of showed that, especially towards the end, like she didn't have to depend on anybody else. Like she was strong in her own right. You know, she was holding off Galactus. And I love the other thing I really loved about it is the focus that they had on motherhood and how powerful that alone is. Because really, if you think about it, in the MCU, the only other example we have of motherhood is Wanda. And yes, Wanda is strong. She cares about her kids in a totally different way. But going back to our conversations about whether or not people actually watch the Disney Plus streaming shows and the MCU, if you didn't watch WandaVision, you would have no connection to her journey as a mother. So I was thinking about that today. I was like, Multiverse of Madness probably was weird for some people if they didn't watch WandaVision, because they're like, okay, where did these two kids come from? And why is she, you know what I'm saying? So you get that one version of motherhood with Wanda, and we saw that version quickly went toxic because she lost her children. Then she kind of gave up the good parts of her trying to get them back. On the other hand, with Sue Storm or Sue Richards, we see motherhood being shed in a very different light, very positive light. You see her being very protective. No, I'm not giving up my child for y'all. But that doesn't mean that I don't love you guys and I'm not going to fight for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not about to give up this, especially someone who has been trying for 3 years to have a child and you just want her to give. Excuse me. No, absolutely not. But you see her power in that and how she uses that to kind of sway the other people. And then towards the end, when Galactus has the baby, she gives her all, literally, so that she can fight this thing off, defeat it, and save her child. I love that about this movie because you don't really get to see motherhood served up as heroism very much in superhero movies. So I loved it. Like, I did not think, I did not know going into this movie that she was going to become my favorite character because, of course, yeah, I'm on Team Pedro. I'm like, okay, Reed Richards, whatever. Like, I'm kind of on the character, but you know, it's Pedro. No, Vanessa Kirby, like literally from the time she got on the screen, and I've not seen her in anything else. I know she was in The Crown, but I haven't watched The Crown.
Mm-hmm.
So,
she was in Hobbs and Shaw too.
She was in what?
The Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw movie.
Yes.
Yeah, she was in Mission Impossible.
Okay, but yeah, she was she's Shaw's sister. And I was like, okay, that's why I know her from. But in this movie, from the moment she got on the screen, just the way she carried herself, the way she was loyal to her husband and to her family, and the way that they just kind of portrayed her character, I really respected her character, and like she became one of my favorite characters. And then also Vanessa Kirby is so fucking easy on the eyes. I was like, I did not know this woman was so gorgeous. What? Yeah. She's gorgeous. And you know, just the whole thing about her as motherhood personified as a superhero, that's not something I'm used to seeing. And it was just, for me, it was so refreshing. And then also it was very inspiring because she literally showed, yeah, I can do all these things at once. I can be a mother and be protective of him, and I can still go out and save the world and keep my morals and keep my, keep everything that's me. I don't have to compromise myself in order to be these two separate me's. I love seeing that.
Yeah.
I really love the way that they told that in that story.
And I totally agree, because I didn't realize how powerful she was, because it is kind of downplayed, because I'm not comic book familiar. So it is kind of downplayed in the other movies how powerful she is. Mm-hmm. It's mentioned, like in the other movies, she mentioned, like with Victor Doom, she mentioned she can put like a air bubble in his head and kill him, but she didn't do it. But in here, you really knew how powerful she was, and also how strong she was. And she did not play, because she was on that shuttle and said, "Kill her." Like, hold on a second. We ain't talking. She had Johnny Killer.
He was like, what? She was like, excuse me, she's trying to get your nephew killed.
Kill her. We don't have time for this.
Right. She was like, we're not playing these games. No.
And she's having full contractions, and she can still make the ship invisible.
Right.
In full contraction. I'll be like,
full contraction.
She's the baddest.
Yeah, she's the top of my list. Second is The Quiet Place, when you're trying to have a baby and not make a sound. Right. And Sue is at the top.
Yeah.
That concentration.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's who the fandom wanted to play her in the first place.
Who, Emily Blunt?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. So definitely.
Yeah, but no,
she held her own. Like, it wasn't, and I know I'm not in comparison, but if I only have to compare the movies, she held her own. It's not like it's Reed and everyone rotates around Reed. Like, she has her own.
Right.
She's on her own. She stands on her own. He pretty much doing his mental math and mental things. And she's like going out and really working with the community and solving real world problems here.
Yeah. I think they did a good job with all of them with that aspect.
Yeah, they did.
They were all sort of their own people.
Yeah, people and stuff.
And then even at the end, when they were doing the fighting, Rita's so worried about her. And she was like, excuse me, I need you to go concentrate. Go do this, go do that. Like
I got this.
When he lost his focus, she stepped in and she became the leader. She delegated. She was like, okay, look, we don't have time for this. If I die, you need to take care. You need to make sure you save our son. No hesitation, no nothing. And I think that was something that was that we needed to see, that she didn't have to depend on the other people to come in and save her, even though yes, she was being, well, he was the one that was actually being stretched, but she was being stretched to her limits, and she was still like, don't help me, go do this, go do that, you go here, you go there, I got this. And she really did. Galactus is looking at her like, what the fuck is this? What? How are you doing this and defeating me? Cause she powerful.
Yeah.
And she didn't need anybody to help her. She took care of Galactus. All she needed was somebody to go and tip him right across the border. Okay.
Well, Reed was doing a pretty good job until he got caught.
Yeah, I mean, they all were, but I mean, again, like you said, they did a very good job of showcasing all of them, that no, we didn't necessarily need anybody else to help us do what we were doing, but they also did a good job of showing, okay, teamwork is like, literally, teamwork is dreamwork.
So Ben got pimp slapped in his face.
Yeah.
Poor Ben.
Beard and all. Like that hard stalactite beard that he had.
That doggone beard was.
Yeah. I love it. I did. You know what else I love? I just love how he was always like Franklin. He always had Franklin all up in his show. It's always.
Yeah. Franklin got the best uncles.
Yeah, he did. He was just so cute.
Yeah. Because even when Johnny was getting ready, because I was kind of like you, Mike. I was like, we are not about to lose all these people. First of all, you stretching Reed to the point where he looks like Swiss cheese. What?
Oh my gosh.
Stop. Because that hurts. Like, I'm sitting in my seat just like, oh no, that hurts. And then when Johnny was getting ready to do what he was going to do, he was like, tell Franklin his uncle Johnny loves him. Excuse me, sir, I'm not about to watch you die in something else. Like, I don't watch you die in Stranger Things. I don't watch you die in Gladiator 2. No, we're not doing it.
All they had to do was give him a guitar solo when he was flying towards. Awesome.
We're not doing it.
Like a guitar solo from Puppet Master of Puppets. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Right. But then with Sue at the end, like, I was sitting there when she wasn't moving and Reed is over her crying. Now I'm sitting in the theater. I got tears coming down my eyes too, but I'm like, but I know she's not dead because she was announced for Doomsday. So I know she's not dead, but still I was like, okay, so is it that she dies here and they bring her back in Doomsday? And then when Franklin was sitting there fighting, like, basically, give me my mama, I said, oh, he about to bring her back to life.
Yeah.
He about to do this. And when he sat down, when they sat him on her chest, and he's just looking at her, I said, yeah, he about to bring her back to life. They really about to see how special this little boy is.
But then you had to then realize what was going through her head as she's coming to, because then you realize, oh shit, this motherfucker's powerful.
That's what she said when she walked up. She was like, he's more than us. He's like,
you've been going around trying to tell Reed he fine, he good. I love that scene when she concentrated where you could just see the baby. He good. He's like normal.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's
not. No, he's not. And I love the fact that that Reed was like, this whole time I've been trying to figure out what you are and whether you have powers. You know what? I'm gonna stop looking. I'm just gonna let you be who you're gonna be, and you're gonna tell me who you are when you're ready to tell me what you are.
Mm-hmm.
because obviously that little boy was like, I'm not finna show you nothing yet. I'm about to hide my powers. Because also, if he shows his powers, then not just to his parents, other people are gonna see
Other
it, and
people
then
going to.
you know what happens. Somebody's gonna come like a Galactus and be like, "Oh, this baby's powerful. Yeah, I want him." We don't have
Or
time
like
for that.
like
Franklin was like, "Look, I like my crib, I like my car seat, I like my naps. Leave me alone. I'm a normal baby."
or like a certain Latvian dictator in the green that likes to wear green cloaks would just stop by, randomly.
That was interesting, but
before I forget, shout out to Paul Hauser, aka Mole Man. one of the best B or C villain cameos in the MCU. He's great.
I was looking at this.
He's great.
He showed up on the screen, and the fact that they made not in the movie, but there was a interview that Pedro and Vanessa were doing, and they were comparing themselves to the Incredibles. And literally, when Mole Man walked up on screen, I was like, "Am I watching the Incredibles? What the hell?" Because I, again, not comic book familiar, I didn't know about this character, but he was so funny to me, just in the way that he reacted. And then he was like, "Yeah, I don't like none of y'all motherfuckers, but I'll talk to Sue." Like
I love how he was telling all the people going down into his space. He was like subterranean. He was like, "Take off your shoes."
Right. Like, excuse me, sir, isn't your ground made of dirt?
It's hilarious.
But it was also so funny because when they were coming down there, he was acting like a tour guide. Welcome to Subterranean. Welcome. I was
He's
like,
great.
okay.
Yeah. I really like that part of the movie. He was fun.
Yeah. But I was sitting here like, how in the world do you have a whole, like, how do you build something like Subterranean and nobody really notices up until you start doing some shit? Because that was
it's underground.
Yeah,
that's how nobody notices.
Yeah, nobody's paying attention to underground.
Yeah, but you gotta dig underground. You like
right.
He's Mole Man.
He's a Mole Man.
Yeah, so it's
he's Mole Man.
I guess.
You're
so elaborate
about this. He's Mole Man. He lives underground. He builds an underground land. Let's let him go. Okay. Then he comes up and tries to take over the above land and drops the Pan Am Center. Holy shit!
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
They needed the rooms.
Yeah, he had to have it.
But yeah, like I said, I really felt like this was a fun movie. It had its serious moments, but I don't think it got overly serious, at least not for me. I felt like it had a good pace to it. Mm-hmm. Even in the beginning, yes, like I said, it was slow, but like you said, Anthony, it was exposition. Even though you didn't give us the origin story, you were giving us a chance to learn who this family is and giving us a chance to connect with them, so that when all this stuff started happening, we would feel it. We would be like, "Oh no, you're not about to take this baby. Oh no, you're not about to," like, we were on their side. And I think if they had done it a little bit differently, I don't know if they had included the origin story, then the movie would have felt a little too long. I feel like it was kind of just right. It didn't drag, really. It just, slow and dragging are two different things. When you're slow because you're telling the story, you're giving us the background, you're giving us the exposition. I don't think it was bad. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with this movie. We got to go see it with the MCU ATL group again. Shout out to them because they have some of the best viewing parties. We had a lot of fun. Had a lot of cosplayers. I think I've been going to some of their screenings now for over a year consistently. I think Fantastic Four was the one I've seen the most cosplay, and it was the cosplay was amazing. You had Fantastic Four everything all around. Like one girl was in there, she had on all silver everything, even silver boots. I was like, you know what? Y'all did this. Y'all came with your A game. It was so much fun. So, yeah. I enjoyed it. And then, Mike kind of touched upon this, the post credits, well, the first post credit scene. You have I think they said it was like 4 years later, maybe 3 years
It was
later.
4 years.
4 years later. And Sue is sitting there reading a kid book to a now 4-year-old Franklin, and he wants to read another book. She goes to the kitchen to grab him a book. What was the book that she started to grab that she was like, oh, this is his favorite, but we're going to do something lighter? It was like,
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
I think it was Darwin's natural selection.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that apparently is Franklin's favorite book. But she was like, no, we're going to do something light. She picked a kid's book. And she goes back into the living room and she feels something off and she turns. And who is standing there in front of Franklin but Dr. Doom? I was like, okay, so they're leading us into Avengers Doomsday. Okay. I hear that Reed Richards is supposed to be one of the leads in that particular movie. I don't know how true that is, because there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of things coming out, and I really have been trying to stay away from them because I feel like some of these fan sites are giving too much information. Like, I want to be surprised by some stuff when I go see this movie.
Right.
I don't need to know every casting announcement, especially if the studios aren't making the casting announcement. I don't want to know what you found out because you got a long lens camera and you standing off in the bushes at the filming location trying to take I don't need to know that information.
Or you got Alan Cumming running his mouth off like Mark Ruffalo.
What did Alan Cumming say?
Oh, well, no, I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But he did get a little bit of trouble though, because he was talking about filming a fight scene with somebody as Nightcrawler, and people were like, "Oh, what? Wait, what?" So,
okay.
However,
he just mentioned it in passing, like he wasn't really talking about the movie. He just said, "Oh yeah, I was fighting such and such as Nightcrawler," and people picked it up.
But here's the thing, you have to go with that. Even when you get casting, even though they say they're in the movie, we don't know, as long as no one says the extent. Because literally with that movie, Doom could be going to different Earths and just encounter those people. He maybe go to another Earth and Nightcrawler is fighting. We don't know the extent. That's how I see things. Mm-hmm. Like just now, if I see things about Eddie being in Stranger Things, it could be a flashback. I don't know until I watch it, and I'm not going to find out why he's in the movie. I didn't say he was in the movie, people. I just said if they said Eddie was in the movie, it could be a flashback, or he really could have come back. We don't know. Yeah. So somehow this family has to get to what Earth? Our Earth? Which we saw. Mm-hmm. So in our mind, we can piece that together.
And when no one's going to spoil it. He starts the movie talking about the existence, the formula shows you have to get to the multiverse.
Right.
Yeah, he does.
So then we know they will end up traveling the multiverse, but then it'll be time too, because the time difference.
Not necessarily.
Oh, because we're on a different time than that. Yeah, okay. So we know for sure that's going to happen.
Yeah. But also,
then we know for sure.
But also too, I've heard rumors that, I don't know, but my point is, I don't want to know everything about the movie, especially since they're still filming. Stop giving everyone everything. Like, some of us want to go into the movie and be genuinely surprised, just like
and not look for it.
Yeah, just like the way we were surprised when we went to Multiverse of Madness and Patrick Stewart showed up, or John Krasinski, because everybody had been fan casting him for so long. I didn't know about it. I was excited when I saw it. That's the feeling I want when I go in the movie theater. I don't want to know every single
Spider-Man
detail.
Oh, how Chris Evans was denying that he was in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right.
And he popped in.
And then he popped up as Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I don't want to know all this stuff. Just like I did
when
see
they
a rumor
vanished
somewhere.
At the end of the movie. We didn't know they were going to vanish at the end of Avengers. I can't think of the name of the movie.
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was going to happen. Did you
Yeah.
know that was going to happen?
Yeah.
That's
Well, he probably knew
way to
because
end
he
the
probably
movie.
Comics, but yeah. So I just want to be
Oh,
surprised.
yeah, I didn't think about that.
Stop
I was
giving us
surprised.
stuff. I've seen some casting rumors like, oh, well, this person wasn't announced, but this person has been on. I don't want to know. I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised.
Especially if they're supposed to be a surprise.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man, they were supposed to be a surprise.
They were denying they were in it too.
But that was a surprise.
Except look, Andrew Garfield told Charlie Cox. Or Charlie Cox told Andrew Garfield, because I think they were in the same city filming, and Charlie was like, "Are you here filming such and such?" He was like, "What do you mean? No, I'm not." He was like, "Well, I'm here filming such and such." What? That's how they knew. But yeah, some stuff for us to be surprised on.
Yeah.
So, and I thought the other end credit scene was cute because it was like the old Fantastic Four cartoon. And I was like, oh, I do remember a little bit of that. Or something like that. So, yeah.
Don't. I didn't.
I don't remember if it was like a cartoon or if it was something. Maybe I saw something on YouTube that was similar to that. But I was like, that looks oddly familiar.
Yeah, I can say that I didn't. I knew and had read a few Fantastic Four comic books, but I didn't get into it until She-Hulk joined, and Black Panther was a member for a while.
Oh.
I read those.
Okay.
Those were kind of cool.
Okay.
But when now?
Mike drifted off.
Mike was like, wait, what?
Are you talking about the Illuminati?
Talking about what?
Never mind. I thought we were talking about the Illuminati for a second. Then it's like,
no. I was saying how
that was like
I didn't pay attention
to.
I didn't pay attention to Fantastic Four till She-Hulk was a member and Black Panther was.
Yeah, Spider-Man was a member for a second.
And Spider-Man too. Yeah.
Good grief. Okay.
It got interesting when other people were members of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and Black Panther and Sue Storm kind of.
We don't talk about that.
What?
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, okay. Sue. This is gonna be interesting because of a certain person that's in Doomsday that they're bringing back, and I'm like, oh, because in the comics, this is like, you know how back in the day, like people just did whatever they want. Like Sue was like they made Sue look bad in a couple of instances.
Oh, okay.
In the comics, so it'll be interesting to see how they handled that in Doomsday, because they put one of her ex. I almost said they put one person that was linked with her in. They said that person is going to be in Doomsday. So
okay.
I know what they won't do. They won't have Franklin impregnate her. I know they won't do that storyline.
Thank God.
Okay, you know what? That's too much for me.
Yeah, they Sue Storm's at the end gets a lot of weird shit happening to her.
That's too Game of Thrones for me.
Right, so, and that's just horrible right there. Okay, I didn't know. I don't want to know. Yeah, I don't.
It's not the way you think, but yeah.
No, he could probably just do it with his mind, but I still don't like that.
What was the thing that you didn't like about the movie? Or was there anything that you like absolutely didn't like? Like you were, I mean, Mike, I know you mentioned the whole romance thing, which in some ways I can get that because I feel like it kind of took away from the main story. But like I said, again, I think that was put in there to show Ben's humanity. Like, okay, yeah, he looks like this on the outside, but he's still a person. He's still a human. He's still worthy of, giving and receiving love. So I think that's what the purpose of that was. So
now if we really want to get into the nitty-gritty of it, I don't appreciate the fact that they didn't have Alicia Masters, which, giving him a love interest and it not be her and you make up a character, that to me, I had a problem with that. Okay. But I didn't say anything. I kind of left it alone because I'm sure they had their reasons for it. But that really bothered me a lot. because
Alicia was the character that Kerry Washington played.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Was she also African American in the comics?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Okay.
So you see where I'm coming. You see. So I didn't. We just gonna let.
I got. But you know
normally
what?
I would let it slide, but it was very difficult when you only had one other person of color really in the movie, and she wasn't even in there that much.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make this about that.
Yeah.
Even though we probably should, because it you asked what I didn't like about it. That was the thing I really dislike that. I really dislike that.
The only thing I will say about that is if they decide, I don't know if they have plans to do a second film in Fantastic Four. I know that the next time we see them will be Doomsday. But if they do a second Fantastic Four movie, it could be possible they will bring her in that one, because maybe this flirtation was just a stepping stone for Ben. Maybe something to make him see, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe I am still, people are still attracted to me. Maybe that's all that is, because you kind of don't want to look at the person and be like, okay, the first person who shows interest in him, that's the only person he's going to be with. Okay, show that there's some other interests to get him in that mindset. Well, maybe I'm deserving of love too. And then maybe in the second one, or maybe even in Doomsday, depending on how big a part Fantastic Four has in the movie, maybe they will bring her into it. That is my hope. I'm gonna
before we get too far, Michelle points out that in the comic book she was white.
Oh, okay.
But I thought it was a bold choice to make her black, because her color isn't really pertinent to what she is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
But she's very important in his life.
She's very important in his life.
Yeah.
I just looked that up. Like, she's one of his main.
Well, she was sort of like the.
She was his Sue Storm.
Huh?
She was his Sue Storm.
Yeah, but she was also the person that accepted him for who he was.
Oh, and they took that away because they gave it to another woman.
Right. Okay. Because, for the most part, he thought of himself as grotesque. He didn't really like that.
And she
saw through, that, air quotes.
Yeah.
Because she's blind. So you're right, though. They should have just kept her character in there. It's a different world. So she can be whoever she needs to, but it should be her, because she's the one who shows him love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the other thing I do like about what they did with Ben in this movie, because even though you see like a couple of moments where he kind of looks at his reflection wistfully, he doesn't seem as depressed as like previous versions of the character. He doesn't seem that negative about what he is. It's almost like he's accepted what has happened. But also, again, I mean, this film takes place, I think, 3 years after all of that happened.
Yeah. So he's had time to live with it.
So he's had time to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah.
But I also realizing him looking in the mirror, you look at some scenes where he wasn't that way. He is actually more comfortable how he is now.
Yeah.
In this movie than how he was just regularly walking around. Even when they say, oh, he's the handsome one. He's like, I'm not. Yeah. So he seems more confident now than he did before the change.
Yeah.
Which is a different take.
I think it has to do with them, because in other movies we saw them, they went through the whole them in the spaceship, going up, getting in the storm, coming back down, recovering, finding out they have the powers, and then having to deal with the powers. We're seeing them now having already gone through all that shit. This is why again, I like that they just kind of briefly summarized all that shit.
Yeah. Because
you can tell that he already, of course he still has some inhibitions, because he still feels some kind of way sometimes, because it's the shot that I love in this movie where he's like walking past a TV store, and they show an image of him before the accident, then the TV cuts off, you see his reflection. And I'm just like, that's fucking beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's like you can tell that he's fine with it, the way he interacts with the kids when he picks up the Volkswagen, the way that he interacts with Herbie, with Herbie and with everyone else, like being being there for Reed and like helping him talk through everything and just being himself. It shows that he's had time to deal with everything that he's had, everything that's gone on, and that he's come to a good happy mushy middle to it, where he's like not overly okay, I'm really great, or oh my god, this really fucking sucks. He's just like, okay, I'm just
this is me. Yeah,
is what
this is me. Life goes on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But back to the Alicia Masters thing, I feel like they didn't do it because people raise a question, well, if you cast her and it's a white woman, then, oh, y'all had a problem with her being black. So they just avoided the whole question by creating a whole new character to do the same thing with.
Okay. Brings up even more questions, but a different set of questions.
Which brings up a different set of questions.
Yeah, especially if that was his main person who helped him find acceptance within himself.
Yeah. But like I said, we can really hope that they'll explore that.
Oh, yeah, he didn't need it here. So
yeah.
But that doesn't still invalidate the character.
Well, no, on this earth, he runs into her, but she's not needed.
Yeah. Okay, Michelle, what didn't you like about the film, if anything?
Skip me.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Okay, Mike, what?
She didn't like the third act where they were trying to teleport the planet and get everybody to work together.
That sounds like you.
That's you.
That's you. Mike, what didn't you like?
We knew it wasn't going to work.
Do you know how much of a difference 2%?
Oh my God. Did we already have this conversation like 30 minutes ago?
I'm just saying. I just want to make sure I get the point across.
There's nothing I really disliked about this movie.
Oh, I do.
There's certain things that I didn't necessarily care for, but it's like the pacing of the first act. I thought the pacing of the first act could have been better. I think that there are certain things like after the baby's born, it just I gotta be honest, there's not really anything that took away from it for me. Like there's some stuff I wish they could have been better paced. I actually like the writing in here. I love the effects. So I don't appreciate them playing with my emotions, thinking that they're gonna spaghettify fucking Reed Richards again. But
that was traumatizing in Multiverse of Madness. I don't need to see that ever again.
It was.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Michelle.
I figured out what I didn't care for, which I don't care for in other movies, is when you show people and they're not important, but later you find out they are kind of important to the main characters.
Okay.
So they're publicists. So, because at first I'm like, oh, something's going to happen with her because you keep showing her, but you just showing her reaction. Then you got a great actress. So I was like, that's not needed.
Okay.
Right.
I don't care for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like she had maybe like 3 lines, like, oh, she's going to do something. She's going to be something. But she's just a side, like, ooh, when they're going to a mission, let's show her. When they come home, let's just show her reaction.
Yeah. I think she was I feel like she was there to kind of be the bridge between them and the regular people.
I get that, but then have her do more to show that she's the bridge between the regular people.
Yeah, I got you. I got
it. Look up, she was a publicist.
We had to, you have to look it up to be like, oh, she's important in there, in their lives.
She's public relations.
Yeah.
Shout out to her because she was in Ted Lasso. And
as a therapy.
Ted Lasso, as the sports psychologist in the second season. She was awesome.
Yeah.
So for me, she's important because that's my show. But
Ted Lasso is the show. I love that show.
Yeah. Okay. Well, So the next time we will see the Fantastic Four will be in Avengers Doomsday, which again I believe is slated for a 2026 release.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Did we say what's your favorite part? Your absolute favorite part of the whole movie?
Oh no, we didn't. Okay, so let's go there.
I'm sorry to interrupt. What's your? I don't have one right now. What's your favorite part of the movie?
You stopped us from talking to get to the favorite part. You ain't got one yet.
You ain't got one.
She's thinking.
Yeah, but I want to hear her.
This may seem small, like a little small thing, but I love the way Galactus's eyes changed to real and then to the power cosmic. Like you see that he was actually a real person.
Yeah.
And then you see his eyes change back. It did a couple times. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah. It's like the part where Galactus was in the tunnel, is trying to come back out, and Johnny and Silver Surfer pushed Johnny out of the way and went towards him. He had the power cosmic on, then he turned it off and looked at her like, "What are you doing?"
Like, excuse me, you're supposed to be on my side.
And she pushed him back in. That was awesome.
Right.
Yeah, but I love that detail. That was one of my favorite parts. I was like, oh wow, they actually thought about that. That was kind of cool. I like that. Everything about Galactus, I liked.
Okay.
Yeah.
He reminded me, and I know I asked you, Anthony, because I was like, is he a Celestial? And you were like, no. But that's what he reminded me of.
Me too.
You know, the Celestials, but okay. Michelle, what was your favorite part?
He's supposed to be as big as they are, and I know some people complained about he was smaller than he should be, but in the comic books he can change his size.
I was gonna say that seemed like something that a person like him would be able to do.
Yeah,
he can change his size.
Yeah, he can scale. Plus he doesn't like eat planets like an apple. I think that's where a lot of people were like, "We're like, oh my god, he's not eating the planet. He's just walking around on it." But that's really what happens. Like he sits in the chair, the tubes go into him, and his ship goes through the planet and processes it and feeds him. That's how he feeds. He doesn't just like walk around grabbing planets like apples off a cart. Just
right.
There aren't just like planet cores just floating around in outer space where he's been past them and stuff, like a litter bug. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Messy son of a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, Michelle, what is your favorite part?
I'm not there yet. What's your favorite scene?
This was your idea.
Hey, you were the one who reminded us. I think I talked about my favorite part earlier, which is why I didn't think to ask it again. But just them showing Sue Storm to be as powerful as she was, you know, not shying away from, you know, the fact that even though she's a mother, she can still be a superhero. She can still be important. She can still be the most powerful person there, because Rita's the smartest, but she's the most powerful out of all of them. And I love that they didn't shy away from that.
Right. So anything in the movie just stood out than anything else then for you? Like you said,
Herbie. Are you trying to buy time?
Yes, we need to talk about Herbie. We need to talk about
Herbie.
Herbie's fucking
awesome. I loved Herbie. I love the way they kind of treated him like family. I love the way that him and Johnny were kind of, you know, the little connection that they had, calling him Herbert. I was like, really, y'all?
When he scratched him on the head every time he brought him something, he scratched him on the head like a dog. Like, that's cool as shit.
It was just cute. I liked him. He reminded me of other like cutesy robots like Wally and that sort of thing. It was cute, you know.
And also he runs on tapes, because when they took off, Reed took the home tape out and put the space tape in. I was like,
well, I mean, cool. It is the 60s. Cassettes.
No, that was cool as shit.
Yeah, that is.
That
was storage room full of the tapes.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mike, what's your favorite?
There was a couple. I like I said,
you gotta stick to one. Wait,
but you ain't ready yet. I don't know.
I'm ready, but go ahead and do your one. Do your one.
Fine. I really like how they did Johnny in this. I think Johnny's probably one of my favorite characters. I love the way they didn't make him an idiot. They made him smart. They actually had him figuring things out. And I love that he actually treats Reed like his big brother. Like he wants to impress him. That's why he kept bringing him the plans for the suits. He was just like, "Look what I did! Look what I did! I need you to help me with this. Look what I did." He's trying to show him that he's smart, just like he is. It's like he's treating him like a big brother, and I really like that kind of relationship with him, instead of him just being a pest that goes out and melts his clothes off and creates a hot tub and does all the stuff that he did in the first movie, like whatever.
Yeah. And I like the fact that Reed actually paid attention to him, because Reed can get focused and he's like, I'm working on this right now. But then when they get ready to go back to space, he was like, it's your suits. I did your suits.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I really like their relationship. I really like Johnny overall in this. I think that they did a really good job in portraying him and not making him just a character where you're like, oh God, like an annoying character. They made him have a purpose, and they made him have an active role in saving everybody, and like showing that he can think and that he's smart, and I appreciated that.
Yeah. I'm gonna not let you off the hook too. So what one scene then encompasses that for you?
The scene where Shalabal is about to destroy the last gate, and he broadcasts her talking, and he's like, this is your verse, and she's like, how'd you do that? He's like, I translated, and he translated everything for her, and she's just sitting there like, what the fuck is, like, she was like, how did you do this? And he's just like, and this is how he convinced her, and just like and that's how he turned her, and I thought that was just fucking brilliant. That was just beautiful. It was awesome.
Okay, Michelle, your turn.
Let's start.
My favorite scene is the movie. I'm just joking. I bet y'all do all that. Actually,
those of y'all who are just listening, you should have seen the look on Anthony's face just now. He's looking at her like, really?
That's hilarious.
So honestly, I'm trying to shorten it. So it is actually when they go and investigate Galactus. I like it from that part, even with everyone's part in trying to escape. And I just thought that was powerful in her trying to have a baby all at the same time. And yes, it's action, but if you just pay attention to everyone, that was the highlight.
Okay.
The visuals
the one scene is them in the shuttle getting away. Ben's flying his ass off. Johnny's helping. Sue is concentrating.
Because she's in,
there's no concentration ever. Active labor. You know what I'm saying? Also kind of shows how sometimes you can like be the smartest, but when things are happening and some things you just can't control, you can see it on his face. Like, I can come up with some things that we could do, but I can't control when or how this baby's about to come out. I can just be there for her.
And at the moment, this is the most important thing.
Right.
He was like, yeah, I know the spaceship is breaking apart, but this. So,
and the animation of the Silver Surfer getting caught in a black hole was just like,
the look of oh shit on her face. She realized what was happening.
The fact that he calculated it's going to take her 30 days to get out.
Really
delayed.
Like that's a different level of smart. It's like he knows exactly where to teleport the Earth to, where it can actually be in orbit around a star and not throw everybody off the fucking planet. Like that's the same. It's just like Ann says, like if you're off like a couple of miles, like
I was gonna say Anthony's not convinced.
you're either flooding the Earth or everybody's flying off of it. It's like you have to find something that has the right amount of gravity and the right amount of everything, so that because the Earth, people don't realize how many weird coincidences have happened so that we exist, that the earth is an actual thing. Like there's so many things that have happened that are still happening that take place in order that everything that happened at the same time for the earth to actually function and exist as a planet and to support life. Like that's when you don't think about it, because you won't think of anything else, because it's like there's spins at a certain degree, spins at a certain speed, and the gravity holds, and the center of the earth it's like there's a whole lot of shit that goes into
and
it.
a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, like a whole ton of shit. It's like,
yeah,
and the gravitational and spin and orbiting around the sun. It's like, and the moon, the way the moon. It's like there's so much shit that goes into it. And Reed's just like, okay, let's just put all these teleporters over here, and we're going to go from here to here. And we should be fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Again, Anthony's not convinced.
With Anthony, I'm kind of with Anthony now. The more you think, it's like, bruh, really?
Yeah, you just talked yourself into that. Like, wait,
I talked myself into it. Yeah. But it's like that's a lot of calculation. Like, okay, I'm just gonna let it go.
Yeah, because I'm not that smart, so I'm not even gonna second guess him. I'm not that smart, so yeah.
That's a lot of thinking.
If that's what he says is gonna take, if that's what he says is gonna happen, I'm gonna believe him. I believe him.
I can't even move a glass from here to here without it falling off the damn table. So how am I going?
But he already had it on a tiny scale. The calculations just had to increase due to size, the amount of people on Earth.
Like, I would have questions like, did you calculate the gravity of all the other things in the area? Yeah. Are you sure that there isn't a random comet that you missed that might be going through there? Could you not?
Those are the unknowns. Those are unknown factors.
That would be a conversation he would have had if Tony Stark was still alive and on his Earth.
Because those are things.
Banner and like, I want to be in a room and just watch them volley.
Right. Because an asteroid that is moving, that's not consistent. He was looking at consistent things.
No, they're pretty consistent.
No, as in you don't know if one's going to come on that path. He can't. You don't know that until it's close. That's just like us. We monitor space to see asteroids flying, but other than that, the stars are not. Well, they're moving, but they're not. He can find a place that has the same gravitational pull. Again, this is a different universe.
Yeah, it's all theory until you teleport get there. You be like,
oh my God!
Off by 2 degrees. Oh my God, we're all dead.
Have it? Because we will be here forever.
At least he tried.
Listening
and the thing
to
about science is you don't know.
Argue.
Right, and you don't know until it actually happens. So at least he tries. Yes, it is all a theory until it is done.
And how is he moving it far enough away, exactly far enough away that Galactus isn't going to be just look over there and be like, "Oh, it's over."
Oh, there we are.
Yeah,
it's a distraction. It's not, because it's a distraction, and then we will have to move again.
Yeah, how much got that kind of energy?
We got that.
No, I mean move again when he comes, which may be another 5 years or 10 years. Well, but what happens if it's 50 years and he's dead? I don't know. The Earth is just doomed.
Yeah, it's like Silver Surfer's gonna come be like.
I mean, seriously, because once he dies, he gonna put in a report of what to do for when this ever happens again.
You just see the Silver Surfer floating down to Earth again and being like,
this was really a temporary fix
of your shit. I herald his aggravation. I herald his anger.
I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, you guys have any final thoughts on Fantastic Four First Steps?
All right.
No, it's fantastic.
No, I'm good.
Okay, shout out to Mark Gatiss, who played the television host who introduced the Fantastic Four at the beginning and the end. Mm-hmm. He actually played Mycroft Holmes on the Sherlock series, the one with Cumberbund Bumpersnatch on it.
I am not here for Reed Richards' teleportation bullshit.
You know what?
Also, real quick, I'm just going to kind of touch on this. I watched this with my D&D friends, and first off, shout out to Josh Lee and all of them. They surprised the fuck out of me because they know a lot about the Fantastic Four, and both of them were disappointed that this wasn't linked to the Maker. Like they were trying to bring the Maker into this. For those who don't know, the Maker is a version of Reed Richards who has gone insane because he's been shown how the world's going to end, and he makes himself mad trying to. I think this is right. He makes himself mad trying to fix it and trying to avoid it. I think that's right.
That's correct.
Okay, so it's like they were thinking that he was going that version was going to make his way to. It made sense for that version to make an appearance. But I was like, that's just too much. I mean, let's just work on getting Galactus right first. But shout out to them not making Reed a complete know-it-all and showing that he has some vulnerability, and like there's sometimes he doesn't know what to do because despite what everyone thinks, nobody likes a smart ass, and like portraying him as such just kind of dehumanizes him. I think this just shows that he's underneath all that brain power that he possesses, he's still human. And there's still moments where he's just like, I have no idea what the fuck to do. And I really like that vulnerability in him. Shout out to them totally misleading us in Thunderbolts, thinking that the end of this movie was going to show why they showed the Fantastic Four ship in the post-credit scene in Thunderbolts, and we never saw anything about that.
So I'm gonna tell you something about that. What I found out after Thunderbolts was that particular scene
is from Doomsday.
Was filmed by the Russo brothers, which means it's part of Avengers Doomsday.
Right. Which
that's what I figured.
It did end. If you say to the end, and you saw who popped up, so you realize what's about to happen.
Yeah, you saw Doom pop up. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and that means Franklin's about to be taken.
Yeah, but so that was interesting. I was like, I didn't even think about it until we were like already. I was already home, and I was like, wait, we didn't see anything about that. Like, what the hell? I was like, oh, that's right. Russo's directed it, so that's part of Doomsday.
So we'll find out more about that in Doomsday next year. Yeah. Hopefully, if there are no delays. So
yeah. So I had this movie is below. I enjoyed Thunderbolts a little bit more than this movie. So, but this wasn't a bad movie at all. So it's like kind of mid. It's like right in the middle for me. Like the middle. It's the like second or third level for me. It was really good. Like I give it like a 7.
And then for me, I had low expectations for this movie, like I did for Superman 2. So surprisingly, I like both of them. But it's the favorite of all the Fantastic Fours.
That's a pretty low bar.
You know what?
Way down.
Will it be in my rewatch collection? I can occasionally rewatch this.
Yeah.
To get ready for the next movie.
I just fast forward to the Galactica.
Yeah, it's not my permanent playlist of again Winter Soldier, Black Panther.
Yeah.
Infinity
shout to them. Shout to them. I'm trying to fool people into thinking that they had a Stark Industries made pregnancy test when it said Stork. I saw so many people thinking that it said on the pregnancy test where Sue found out she was pregnant, it said Stork something. But people say, "Oh, that says Stark." I'm like, there's a stork right there on it. What else could it say?
I didn't even pay attention to that. But
yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So again, it looks like we're going to be seeing them again in Avengers Doomsday, which is supposed to be coming out in 2026. Now, I'm not sure how that's going to happen considering they're still filming. But you know what? If the Russo brothers say they're going to do it in 2026, I'm going to have faith in the Russo brothers and say 2026 because I really don't want this to go to 2027, 2028.
Yeah, I believe them.
Yeah. So
they didn't tell us when in 2026.
True.
I believe if I remember correctly, I think it might be the summer tentpole movie. It might be May. So I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but
okay.
You know. But I mean, if it's 2026, we're already like in the back half of 2025. I can deal with 2026. Now, if they delay it, I might start getting a little antsy, but
right.
I'm okay.
Even and if they still filming, they could be filming small things.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing them, they have different things being filmed. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, I think so too. So I guess we'll catch up with the Fantastic Four in Doomsday next year. But for now, that is it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media, on all the social media at Fandom Hybrid. You can chat with us on our Discord channel. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel, and you can listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.